Good morning. Whole new unit, starting brand new. You just had a test, you just got hundreds on it. We just did vocab over this. Whole new unit. I call this unit the Far East, okay, because it includes several civilizations: India, China, Mongolia, Japan. Okay, now we will start with ancient India, and then I actually don't do Japan next. I do China next. Japan just fits better here, and I don't have to have a whole new page of notes just for that. So anyway, I will go to China next, and then after China, we will deal with Mongolia. What? Look at our dates. Hold on, I'll explain. And then at the end, we will go back up here to Japan. Okay, now listen. Because in the past, like now I give this disclaimer, so it's not a thing. Like nobody freaks out. But really, truly, in the past, I used to have kids that would run over and, oh, my friends, they're not learning this. And we're talking about Mongolia and Japan, and they're not. Are they right? Or are we wrong? Or are they wrong? Okay, listen, nobody's wrong. Um, you can teach history in a bunch of different ways. I'm about to sneeze. Sorry. What I choose to do with the Far East, specifically China, Mongolia, and Japan, what I choose to do is, you have your river valley civilizations, right? Okay, I go ahead and deal with Mongolia up here, dealing with China, I'm sorry. Because eventually Mongolia will take over China. I personally, this is just me, every teacher is different and nobody's wrong, okay? I personally think it's easier to just keep your mind in China and go ahead and deal with the Mongolians here taking them over. Go ahead and deal with Japanese like beliefs and philosophies and trade and stuff while we're already over here because your mind's already in that mindset. I personally think it's harder for students to go, okay, here's what's happening in Egypt at the exact same time that this is happening, and at the exact same time as what's going on in India, at the exact same time as what's going on in China. I personally think it's hard to keep that all in order. I choose to go civilization by civilization. So when we start India in about 5 minutes tops, we're going to be going like back in time to when Sumeria existed before Acadia took her over. Whenever we go to China for the first time, we're going back, okay, to when Sumeria existed. We kind of will back up a little bit and then bring our dates back up to the same time period, okay? So that when we come back to these places later, every civilization is pretty much in the same time period, except the Mongolian takeover of China is in the 1200s AD. I am going to jump. Yes, I am. Again, I think it makes more sense to look at how Mongolia affected China, okay, while we're still in China. I think it's much easier to see. I think it's easier to see also the Mongolians trying to take over Japan while we're still in this mindset of the Far East. So I will take China, Mongolia, and Japan all the way up to the 1200s AD. Then after this unit, we'll back up in time to deal with Greece. Okay? While Mesopotamia, it's not while the Sumerians, it's not that early, but it's a little after that. Babylon, okay? We'll deal with Greece, and then we'll back up again in time and deal with Rome. Once Rome falls, and we're in the medieval period of Europe, we don't have backing up anymore. everybody will be in the same place. So what kids used to freak out about is Mongolia and suddenly seeing this. Where is it? Suddenly seeing this. 1200s AD. What? Everybody else is still in like 300 BC tops. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. When everybody else is teaching Mongolia later, we won't be. We'll be doing other stuff. So it all comes out even in the wash. That being said, you just had a test that actually had this map on it, sort of. You had to know the civilizations and you had to know the rivers. And that's not going to change. It's not changing. It's on this next test too. You're going to have the Far East stuff. I'm sorry. You're going to have the Mesopotamia and Egypt stuff on this Far East test too. Just like you had this stuff on the last test. Stuff in history builds. Sorry. You have to know this stuff. So you should be like saying these things in your head or even aloud. That's cool. To just right in the middle of your room be like, Egypt. Because your parents will be like, and you'll be like, I'm learning. And then they'll be like, oh, you're my favorite child. See? I'm trying to help you guys out. Civilization. Say it. I'll give you time to look at your parents and say, I'm learning. Okay. River. Civilization. Okay, we have two rivers here. What's the river in the north? River in the south? Civilization. You notice I'm not telling you the answers. River? River. Civilization? River in the north. Can you say it? River in the south? Yeah. Can you say them? I guess all that really matters on the test is that you can spell them, right? Okay. We are starting with India. And we have our two main rivers. I told you already, historically speaking, the Indus River is more important because that's where civilization begins in India. But geographically speaking, which is what you dealt with last year, the Ganges is more important because if it's religious, what is it? Religious whatevers. Okay, so civilization pops up here on the Indus River first. Are you surprised? A river valley? Shouldn't be. One of the earliest, what's it called? Civilizations that pops up. I always have to think to say this name. Mohenjo-daro. Yeah, I have to think. Mohenjo-daro. This is the archaeological site of Mohenjo-daro, and it's on the Indus River. You can just see some of these pictures. I don't really like deal with it, but I do want you to see some of them. Today it's in, I believe it's in the country of Pakistan. Yeah, that's what I thought, Pakistan. But it used to be part of India. We'll get to that later. Just so you can see some of these pictures. So this is still right now, 2000 whatever we're in, an active archaeological site. I do also want you to see though, if I can find it quickly, which I do in class all the time. What we think the city might have actually like looked like in real life. Here we go. This is a better, clearer one. This is the one I usually show in class. Again, it kind of resembles the Mesopotamian cities that you saw. at that river. It's right there. The rivers are a lot bigger than that, by the way. There's another picture that I show my kids. Oh, here it is. So that you can kind of see the buildings. And then, of course, on the roof, I told you people hang out on the roof all the time back then. It's like a little, I don't know, little porch on the roof. So, okay. I hit the wrong button. Okay. Where we need to start with India. The people who settled Mohenjo-Daro, see, I have to think. The people who settled Mohenjo-Daro are what we consider to be native Indians. I mean, I understand they came from somewhere. We know that. Migration patterns, we know that. But we do consider them to be native Indians. They're like the earliest peoples that settled there. Okay? Well, there's another group of people that are going to come into this area. They're called the Aryans. The Aryans. Okay, some of you who know history stuff, your little red flag just went up. Hitler. Okay, listen. We will deal with the word Aryan again next semester when we deal with World War II and Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler believed that the Germanic peoples were Aryans, that they were the same people group. Today, we know that's not true. They're not the same people group. In Hitler's defense, which we rarely defend Hitler, but in Hitler's defense, he didn't know that. Like, you couldn't prove that in the 1930s, which we can today. You can tell by like looking at blood and stuff. But here, I don't think I included these. I think these are computer pictures. Yeah. Here, oh, no, I'm going to get Nazi stuff. I just make up my own spelling for India. See? Okay. Look. There's a map that I usually show that I don't see. Well, this map is fine, I guess. This map is fine. Okay. I don't see the map that I usually use. Oh, this one's better. This isn't still the map that I usually use. It doesn't matter. But let me show you this again. Okay, look. There's a group of people, like a big, huge group of people up here. Okay. We kind of lump them all together and call them Indo, Europeans. Indo-Europeans. It's a whole bunch of different groups of people. Okay. Eventually, most of them will migrate to different places. The biggest group of them, being the Germanic peoples, will migrate into Europe. That's the easiest way to remember the Indo-Europeans. Indo-European into Europe. Okay. Some of them, of course, will stay here. Some of them will migrate down here, like the Aryans did. All right. But they come from up here somewhere. All right. Now, look back at this picture that I pulled up here. The Indo-Europeans, they're nomadic. They just roam. And they've been roaming forever. Okay, look. This right here is the Indus River. Right here. I mean, I know you're like, it's an arrow, but look at the ground. The map right here. That's the Indus River. Okay? Right here. Look right here. You should have learned about the Himalaya last year. The tallest mountains on land. Mount Everest is in here. Yeah. They're huge. You're not going to have people easily attack you if you're Indian from this direction. because people can't get over these mountains. They can't. Right next to the Himalaya, you have a set of mountains called the Hindu Kush. She said Kush, stop. Grow up. Hindu Kush. Yes? Okay. They're incredibly tall too. I believe the second tallest mountain. I don't know. I'm not positive. I was gonna say I think the second tallest mountain is actually in here, not in the Himalaya, but I don't back me on that. But anyway, they're really tall too. Okay. You're also not going to easily have people invade this way. So India seems like from the north, it's fairly protected, right? True, except um, the Aryans are going to come in through a mountain pass, a valley. Guys, they don't know where they're going. They're not like, dude, let's go to the Indus River Valley civilization, because those people, they got a lot of stuff we want. They had no idea. They didn't even have maps. No map. They're just roaming. Following what? Hope you answered it. And they end up this way, hitting the Indus River right in here. And they're like, ooh, water. People want to settle around water. No surprise. So they come in and they look at the people, the native Indians, and they go, ugh, we're better than you. We have weapons. You don't really have a lot. We're taking you over. Okay, listen. I've told you before, in this class, we deal with race. We have to. What you're looking at in this picture are two different types of Indians. Okay? Two different types. The Aryans are on the left. The native Indians are on the right. You can tell visually the difference between Aryan Indians and native Indians. Obviously, the most obvious thing is skin color. The Aryans are lighter skin. Okay, they come from farther north originally. I told y'all about the north stuff, north south stuff. On top of that, I hope I did. On top of that, for the most part, I mean, obviously, every single Aryan and every single native Indian, this isn't always true but for the most part, as a people, the Aryans tend to be like leaner and taller. And then over here, you typically have the native Indians shorter and stockier. That doesn't mean short and fat, it just means stocky. It doesn't mean tall and skinny, it just means leaner and taller. Um, the Aryans also will bring with them, whenever they take over the native Indians, okay, they're going to bring with them a whole bunch of stuff. Probably most important, the religion of Hinduism. We're getting there. We'll talk about it. You should have talked about it last year. But they'll bring with them the religion of Hinduism. They will also bring with them the language of Hindi. They'll bring with them writing. They're nomadic, but they are a civilization. They have all the characteristics. Okay, they'll bring with them a new form of writing. The native Indians had their own form of writing. They had their own language, and there's going to be a little bit of a language discrepancy for a while too. Um, it's not easy. This is not an easy mix of people throughout history. This is a very segregated group of people throughout history because of the caste system, which you also should have talked a little bit about last year in geography. Um, with the religion of Hinduism and the Aryan invasion of India, you get the caste system. And the Aryans immediately said, you're on the bottom. Aryans are going to be the top 3 levels of the caste system. Native Indians are going to be the 2 bottom levels. It's just the way it is. Now listen, technically, the caste system is illegal today. In India, technically, the segregation from the caste system is not legal any longer. Well, does it take some time to get those, I don't know, those mindsets, I guess that's the word, out of your head? Yes. Guys, the caste system has been made illegal, okay? But people aren't going to stop, I don't know, thinking about the caste system, viewing the caste system, seeing the caste system as relevant until, and I'm sorry, this sounds rude, but it's true, until the older generations are dead. You have to get rid of the older generations who dealt with this racist thing until or before it goes away completely. Okay? Now, we are, oh, here's another picture of differences. I forgot I had this one. Two beautiful young ladies, but you can see typically, again, you have, I mean, the leanness, the way the face comes down in a V, and then the way the face is more oval. It's typical. Aryan, Native Indian. And I forgot about that one. Now, we are starting very slowly to see some mixing because historically speaking, there was no mixing. Aryans, Native Indians, none. And kids always, you guys, are like, but what if somebody did love each other and they went and they were like, I don't care about the caste system. Would they marry? No. But what if they did? But they didn't. But what if they did? Miss, it had to have happened sometime. Okay, whatever. Guys, listen. Mixing the caste system, mixing the two different groups, was also tied to their religion. If it's their religious beliefs, they're not going to break it. They're just not. So, except in the modern era, we are starting to see some mixing of the Native Indians and the Aryan Indians. I've told y'all a million times, I love cultural mixing. I think it is so fun. I think it's so, what's the word? Cool to look at different cultures, to mix things. I just think it's awesome. And something interesting happens, usually, with the mixing. The darker skin tends to be more of a, what is it called? Dominant trait. Okay. But instead of like black eyes, which I so wish I had, I'm so jealous of all y'all with black eyes. Like the pupils the same color. I'm just so jealous. But instead of like black eyes, the brown eyes of the Aryans tend to be a little bit more dominant. So often we're starting to see a really cool mix. Look at this gorgeous skin color. Now I know she's wearing makeup, but then you've got these light brown eyes. Again, I know there's a flash. I know. And look at the hair. It's lighter. Isn't that fun? I love the mixing. I think it's so fun. The dark skin, the lighter brown eyes. Now I know he's gray, white, whatever. But isn't that cool? We are starting to see some mixing. Not a lot. Okay, it's gonna take a long time, but we are starting to see it, which is really cool. By the way, you're probably, I mean, I don't know this man. You're probably looking at a guru here. A what? A Hindu, not really a priest, a guru, a Hindu, what is the word I'm looking for? Not a shaman, not a priest, a guru. You know, they know stuff about Hinduism. I'm trying to decide if I want to go into this in this video or if we should stop because I don't know how much I would get done in a class period, especially if I got to check your temperatures and stuff. Sheesh, man. Okay, We do need to deal a little bit with Hinduism. I'm not going over the whole thing in this thing, okay, in this video because I mean it's way too complicated. But Hinduism is a really polytheistic religion. There's like 30 something thousand gods. Oh, what? I guess I hit Hawaii. Whoa! Not even thousand, 33 million. Okay, listen. You can't possibly worship all 33 million or even thousand gods. Like, you would literally be on your knees worshiping 24/7. That's not what Hindus do. Basically, everybody worships the top three, the most important. The I forget what it's called, but they worship these three. Then families pick which gods are important to them specifically. A farmer will probably worship more farm gods, nature gods, plants growing, stuff like that. If you're in the military, you're probably worshiping more military war gods. If you are, I don't know, a teacher, you probably worship some of the intellectual gods. If you're a female, you probably worship the fertility goddesses or the goddesses of the house, that kind of thing. Okay. So you kind of, I mean, pretty much everybody worships these three, but then you kind of pick and choose. Most of the time, even though I said female, most of the time, the man of the house would choose who the family would worship. So, girls, if you came from a farming house and you married a merchant, you're probably not worshiping the farming gods anymore. Okay. That being said, the biggest god, okay, is actually not the most worshipped. We see that with a lot of religions, like the king of the gods, Osiris in Egypt. He's not the most worshipped. It's kind of weird, but it's the way it is. The creator god is this one over here, right here. His name is Brahma. Here we go. Brahma. Brahma has one job. He creates. Brahma doesn't do anything else. He creates you. But that's it. That's it. So he's kind of like the king of the gods, the most important, whatever, but is he the most worshipped? No. Brahma creates you, and then Vishnu preserves. Preserves? What's that mean? Vishnu is the god who keeps everything going. He's the god who, I don't know, if there's been a drought, he goes to the rain god. He's like, dude, you're falling down on your job. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Vishnu is the one who keeps the earth spinning. Vishnu is the one who keeps the grass growing. He keeps you breathing. He's the preserver. He's the one that keeps all the other keeps all the other gods doing their jobs. Okay? So Brahma creates, Vishnu preserves. He keeps everything going. Okay? Then we have Shiva, the destroyer. You will see multiple spellings of Shiva's name. Quite often, you'll see it with an H, especially here in America, but it's also just SI as well. Okay? SI. Shiva. Shiva is the destroyer. Shiva is the most worshipped. Because here's the fear. If we don't worship Shiva, he will destroy us. Shiva loves hearing people worship him. He loves it. It's like music to him, and it calms him. He enjoys it. In fact, I didn't put it in here. Yeah, because I stole your pictures from the AP folder. But look, um, there's a really famous statue. Here it is. Hope it's big enough. That'll do. Well, it's kind of dark. Okay, this one's lighter. It's easier to see. This is a famous statue of Shiva right here. He looks weird because he's dancing on a baby. This is all symbolic. That's you. It's not really a baby. It's the earth, the world, okay? And whenever you worship him, it's like music to his ears and he loves it. So he starts dancing. Yeah? Well, look at this right here. This rope around here is supposed to be like the cosmos, the universe. Yeah? Shiva has an anger issue. Look at this picture. I just glanced up at it right there. Look at this picture of Shiva right there. Look at this picture of Shiva right here. This one right here. I mean, you don't have to look far. I'm not searching. They're just popping up. Shiva is meditating, keeping himself calm. Shiva isn't trying to destroy stuff. He's not a war god. He's not like, let's kill everybody. But he's trying to keep himself calm by meditating because the fear is, the belief is, if we don't worship him enough, he will get mad. When he gets mad, one day it'll happen. He will destroy the entire cosmos, the entire universe with flame. So, if you don't worship Shiva, I mean, look at all of these pictures, y'all. I'm not looking. I didn't look. I didn't look up Shiva meditating. I looked up Shiva statue, and most of these are statue. Whoa. Okay, well that's weird. But most of these, I don't know what happened. I just left. That's okay. Most of these are statues of Shiva meditating. Because again, that fear is if we don't worship him on a fairly regular basis, he will destroy us. Now, there's a big, huge collection of books. I can't ever remember the name. The Mahabharata or something. See, the Vedas is what comes up. Here it is. I always forget it. Bhagavad Devi, whatever. The specific, right here, the specific scriptures about the gods are in what's called the Vedas. You'll hear people say Vedas. It's like their, I don't know, their Bible, their Torah, their Quran. It's their religious scriptures. Okay? And it's part of this bigger book, which is what I always forget. Right here. So, I really think, yeah. I'm going to stop this video here. I know we're right in the middle of Hinduism and stuff, but all of this really needs to be, a good hour. So, I'll see you in a little bit.